Our North Central Region partner universities work very closely together to identify the critical issues facing our states, the nation, and the world at large. As land-grant institutions, we come together to collaborate on multi-state research and extension initiatives, and we share this knowledge with the communities in which we live so that the knowledge doesn't stay on the shelf, but is used to co-create real-life solutions for some of our most pressing issues.
This project really focuses a lot on adaptation, being able to become resilient. But in a way, what we're also doing is we're helping farmers understand their role as part of a larger society and the societal role that we have with climate mitigation. And what we're doing is basically working to accelerate the adoption of climate-smart strategies across the North Central region while formalizing this partnership. We're essentially bringing together social and the physical aspects of climate change to think about how can we create shared roadmaps within different communities of what it means to adopt climate-smart strategies. Climate mitigation is important because ultimately our ability to thrive in the future depends on it. It's not so much about surviving, right? But more of, can we thrive with the conditions that we're likely to face and are already facing, right? It's not a future problem, but it's happening right now. And because it's happening now, it's really important to all of us.
So in Precision Livestock, I'm really trying to bring to the farm a better life for the farmer and the producer, a better understanding of what the technology can do for them, and not just I have this technology, now what? So the project we're currently working on is a project utilizing calves, looking at rumen temperature. So they put a bolus into that calf, and that bolus continuously monitors rumen temperature. And this precision ag technology is just allowing us to better manage the cow instead of the farm. And by better managing the cow, we're able to better manage the entire farm. With robot technology, we don't herd those cows into a holding area before milking. So we actually see less heat stress in the summer. Less heat stress, better for the cow, a little bit higher production. But how do we utilize precision ag technology to better manage that animal environment? If we don't have healthy animals, we don't have high production. So we're improving the livelihood of our animals, the lives of those animals. We're improving farm profitability. Farms return those dollars back to their local communities. And there's also a societal piece we often don't think about is people want more connection to where their food came from.
If you see in current times, diabetes and obesity are the major issue among the population. So the current project I'm working on is called as the Prevention of Diabetes by a Specialized Program. And on the research side, I'm working on nutrigenomics, the food and gene interactions, how this will interact and how it will have impact on personalized nutrition. The reason why, because health and nutrition is the major key for body's well-being. To prevent the disease along with your nutritional behavior, that is a major key. So make sure that food and nutrition should be a priority for us to implement in our daily lifestyle so we can prevent the future disease to happen.
Water quality is important because it's a vital resource. Lake Erie is one of the cherished resources of Ohio, and we are demonstrating how we can balance ag production and water quality by solving some of the most challenging water quality issues, such as harmful algal blooms within the Great Lakes or the dead zone within the Gulf of Mexico. A project I'm particularly excited about right now, we've been working on it for about 4 years, funded by USDA. It is finding some of the agricultural fields that are prone to losing largest amounts of nutrients. And why this is important is because these fields have an outsized influence on nutrient runoff, which leads to things like algal blooms in Lake Erie. The big societal impacts that I'd like to see in the future is forming more partnerships where we bring research groups, we bring the agricultural community, we bring the environmental community to the table through groups like OSU Extension to form really unique partnerships. I think it's really important for society to learn that not only do we need water quality, but we need to eat food, so we need agriculture production. So it's vital for us to be able to figure out how we can have both of these. And that's what we're doing here at Ohio State, is figuring out how we can do that.
So the project that we just completed a few weeks ago was a national beef quality audit for 2021-2022. So we had to evaluate certain characteristics or certain factors such as hide color and mud scores and bruising and condemnations. I feel that food safety actually starts from the very beginning, but when that calf, that animal hits the ground to the time it hits our plates. It's not just about profits and losses, it's truly about safety of not just the employee, but the safety of the meat. The goal is to educate not just our adult learners, but it's important that we educate our youth. And that's where also these youth agricultural programs, such as 4-H and Future Farmers of America, known as FFA, are very critical to the sustainability piece of the food supply. As a land-grant institution, teaching, extension, and research are the three areas that we're very strong in, and this is what we stand for. We need our students to stay in our fields. And who better else to ask than the kids who are already playing in the mud, who are already feeding cattle, feeding hogs, who already have a good idea of our world.
So soil carbon sequestration is one of the key ways by which we could remove atmospheric carbon dioxide and sequester them in the soils. Now, we were working on mapping agricultural systems in a diverse agricultural landscape. We used NASA's airborne visible infrared spectrometer to map different agricultural systems in the landscape, and then soil carbon sequestered under those systems. So that can be achieved by achieving this twin goal of enhanced agricultural productivity with enhanced environmental stewardship.
There are places in developing countries where small-scale growers are the sole source of food. Overall goal of my research is to develop precision ag technologies and advanced technologies for small-scale farming. And it is important to develop technologies specifically for small-scale growers to encourage more people to start new ventures in agriculture. I hope to contribute to develop technologies that end up in hands of farmers to help make agriculture more efficient, sustainable, and resilient. I like to see small and mid-sized growers are able to expand and more people are encouraged to start new ventures in agriculture using some of the technologies that I am working here at Central State University.
So health and wellness is a broad topic, and our programs focus on three specific areas. Real Money, Real World is one of those. The financial wellness. Stability of your finances will allow you to attain different things in your life. The goal of the program, the goal of Real Money, Real World, is to make youth aware of how real money affects the real world, basically, and how they can manage that money so that they can have what they want. We have the opportunities to inform each other and make a difference in each of the communities by not only providing the education, but changing the environment so people can take advantage of the skills we teach them. Can't even tell you how fortunate we are to have all of those components. I believe we have such an opportunity in this state because we bring the whole package that can meet people where they're at. It's this broad message that we can't just silo into one area or another. We always have to think that ultimately we're looking at the health and wellness of our macro environment affecting the health and wellness of the micro environment to the individual person.
Food security is important because people need to eat every day. Now, if you think about fresh food, can last just very little time if they are not handled and processed properly. With the training, we train these food professionals in food safety and regulations related to food science, processing, and technology. We extend the shelf life and nutritional properties. And under these conditions, these products can be available due to the extended shelf life through the year, and the products are available to the populations of these countries. Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, we know they produce a lot of tropical foods. These foods are very susceptible to spoilage. So by processing them, we will maintain and will be available to the population of these countries year-round. Applying this knowledge and science and technology to all foods produced worldwide will make the production and affordable access to these foods thanks to the research, training, and educations that we provide with our programs in the department, in the college, and in the university.
Most of my work is under the public health realm, so we're exploring ways that pharmacists can be involved in public health, whether that's through community-wide efforts or even at the grassroots level with your local health department. So a project that I'm currently working on is a national level project that is funded by the CDC, and it's with the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. So this project is working to connect student pharmacists to community pharmacies and also community events, like a state fair, like a county fair, and even smaller than that, a library event. So this project helps support the overall goal of health and wellness by ensuring that all extension offices have a way of communicating with other healthcare providers. Oftentimes, our community's health affects the economy, affects our social well-being, and just the general way that people choose to live their lives. We have seen that very recently with this pandemic. And so part of the goal of being a land-grant institution here at Ohio State is to meet the needs of our communities. So my hope is in society here, especially in Ohio, that we're able to connect individuals with the healthcare providers that they need, with the public health professionals that they need, and most importantly, with the resources that help them thrive and become better people.
I look at microbial quality, which means I look at bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, and also you have to look at handling and cross-contamination. So we look into those practices which can help to enhance the food safety. This program is supposed to help the farmer to understand the food safety risks which are associated with produce. That means that my program could help to reduce those outbreaks because we have a lot of production. So the production in the US is increasing for fresh produce. My studies helps to understand where we can target to cut down or put in measures to control or reduce the contamination. I would like to see them grow. I would like to see the farmers grow. I would like to be able to minimize the contamination by human pathogens on the farm. So once they get all this training, they'll be able to improve the profitability for the farm or sales. And also they're going to get the consumer trust. They're going to earn consumer trust for their products.
So a lot of my research really focuses on this question of who's going to be the next generation of farmers in America. One of the most important components of food security is that there is food. And so we really need to address who is growing our food, who is processing, who is distributing, who is selling our food. And again, not only looking at the production components to this, but really what are the social conditions and the household level conditions that are affecting the workers all along this food supply chain. And so my research is really trying to operationalize what does social sustainability mean in the food and agricultural system. And childcare and health insurance are two very concrete examples of the importance of social sustainability in supporting our farm population. When we think about who's going to be the next generation of farmers in the country, we often think about those issues related to access to land, markets, and development, but we don't often think about the social issues like how health insurance and childcare affect economic development and farm family quality of life. These are the issues that actually represent a great threat to the security of America's food, fiber, and fuel supply. And if we can address those issues, we actually can build a much more resilient and robust food and agricultural system.
We are working to amplify the story of climate change and agriculture throughout the North Central region.
In order to improve the farm's profitability, we actually have to improve animal welfare.
Protecting water quality is important for all of society.
I dream of a more integrated pathway of pharmacists and other healthcare providers to their community.
And calling on those experts who have the formal training to help serve community needs, because that's what a land-grant institution does.